Now that spring has come, it's time for me to transplant the seedlings into my garden. I'll be showing you how to do that using the Mittleider, I can never say that right, the Mittleider method today. The first step is to use your row marker to mark every 7 inches. Because we're doing cauliflower today, and it will have 2 rows and it will be alternating every 14 inches. And the first row will be about 1 inch from the side of the bed, and the second one will be about 12 inches from the side of the bed. So they'll be, separated by 10 to 11 inches. If you would like to make a row marker of your own, you can take a look at our video of how to do that. Now on one of the sides, the spikes are every 6 inches apart, and the other side it's every 7 inches. So that's the side that I'll be using today. Next, we take our plant out of the flat, making sure that we keep as much dirt around it as possible to keep that root ball from being messed with too much so that it's happier. And then we just use our hand. If you're using the Mittleider method, it is actually really easy to dig in this soil. And so you can just use your hand to make a hole that's big enough for the root ball, and then cover it back up gently. Don't want to compact the soil around it, and you also don't want to go up too far on the stem. You just want to be right at the crown, right at the top of the roots. The course book recommends taking off the bottom couple of leaves when you transplant it into the garden. If I'm honest about it, I actually do this really minimally. Then you just add 1/4 of an ounce of nitrogen for every linear foot. This nitrogen just helps it with the transplant shock. You can see that I have my little teacup, and that is measured out right at the top portion will give me 5 ounces. So that will do 20 linear feet, which works really well for me. It's a good idea to get some kind of a container where you have a pre-measured amount. You can do a soup can, any number of things, but I like my teacups. After fertilizing, you'll want to do a pretty heavy water job, because not only do you want to get the ground nice and wet so that those roots can settle in the soil well and to help with that transplant, but you also want to start to dissolve that granulated nitrogen. Now that the cauliflower is in the garden, all that we need to do is in 3 days start applying the weekly fertilizer. Now if you need to see the recipe for this, go ahead and take a look at the link that's below. I'm Marie from wisdompreserve.life, and I hope that you enjoyed gardening with me.